This is known as the Monkey House of Des Plaines. I guess the police department, one detective was here one time, and he told me that that's a running joke. When they have the new recruits, they tell them to go find the Monkey House in Des Plaines. So I've been here 27 years. When it was clear glass, we used to have teenagers, you know, with a mask and, you know, all stupid stuff. I actually have one guy come up on the grass, and Annie, she doesn't do it that much anymore. She's a little bit older, but when you would go on the grass, she would actually whack the window with her tail, you know. The one guy had a banana. He's doing the dancing banana, like they're gonna follow the banana. Yeah, just the stupidity of some people. They're great and everything, you know, and they have a lot of character to them, but it's a lot of work, a lot of responsibility. You know, just their care with the exotic pet laws that they passed. A lot of states do, and Illinois passed it in 2011. You know, a lot of vets don't see them, and that's another factor of why I'm placing them at the sanctuaries for their health and well-being, because I just don't want that situation, you know, to arise where I'm scrambling to get them medical care. So.
Monkeys are among our closest relatives, so it's only natural to find an emotional connection to these animals. Monkey owners are often surprised to find out the many challenges of owning one as a pet. But what's more surprising is that there exists a large network of individuals who exist solely to rescue and house wild exotic animals because of overwhelming necessity they are forced to fill. For many reasons, animals are transitioning more and more from their home in the wild into people's homes. This attraction and the unpredictability inherent with nature, it is no wonder that things can go sideways. This is Furthest from the Wild.
This is what else needed to happen. Plant one banana plant outside, canna lilies inside, get some more mulch down. One of you will be doing weeds, one of you is going to plant.
My name is Carrie Bagnall, and I am the founder and executive director of Jungle Friends Primate Sanctuary. Never in a million years did I think I would have over 300 monkeys all around me. I had a boyfriend who decided he wanted to buy a pet monkey. I had never heard of such a thing, and I talked him out of it for about a year. Ended up, he found a breeder in Las Vegas who was breeding monkeys and said, "We've got to go and see this baby monkey. I really want a baby monkey." I'm like, okay, we'll go see. And out comes standard poodle with a little baby monkey attached to the dog coming out. Cutest thing you've ever seen. And the boyfriend, ex-boyfriend now, said, how old is she? And the breeder said she was born on December 18th. And he said, "Oh my gosh, this is an omen. That's my birthday." So he decided this was an omen. He had to get this monkey. And there wasn't much I could say about this, and she was adorable. I mean, monkeys are so cute. I know the allure. I can see how people just want to take care of these tiny little creatures. So I was an interior designer decorating his new home as Samantha was undecorating it. So the novelty wore off very quickly, and he wanted to sell Samantha. Samantha thought I was her mother. She became disattached from the dog. We didn't take the dog with us. And she attached herself physically to my body. She literally slept with me. She showered with me. First thing I taught her to do was to trade arms so I could get dressed. When I'd go on a job, I'd say, "Hide, Sammy, hide." She'd dump down my shirt because some places you couldn't go with the monkey on your back. So long story short, covered the boyfriend, kept the monkey. And here we are 300 monkeys later, because I started talking to people and going on the news and talking about how wrong this was to have a pet monkey. And people started saying, "You're right," and they'd come to my door. "Here's my pet monkey. You were right. They don't make good pets. Here you go." So that's how it kind of started.
Big guy. We got Annie at 6 months old from a breeder in Missouri, and then we got Ben at 2 weeks old from a breeder in Florida. We acquired 2 other black and white capuchins, one that we, I guess you can say, gave away to another primate owner, and then one that just passed away about four years ago. And then we've had squirrel monkeys. They were some from private zoos and research facilities. There was a magazine, Animal Finder's Guide, and you can find anything in there. And that's how we found some of them, or my wife found them. We used to let them run around here for a couple hours each night before we put them to bed. Annie's little thing when she would play is she would start from one side of the couch and run across and then jump on the window curtain and swing back and forth. Ben's thing, he would do it all night long, and he would climb up the railing and then jump across to the table that was against the wall. And I mean, just constantly, all night long, boom, boom, boom. And then one time we heard this, boom. He jumped high enough to hit the ceiling fan. The blades hit him 3 times and knocked him to the floor. And we looked back, and there he is rubbing his head. Woo, you know. But not more than 10 minutes later, he's back up on the railing, but just lower on the railing, jumping across. If I knew what I know now, I wouldn't have done it, just for the simple fact that I've done the best that I could with them in the environment that my wife and I set up for them, and then me solely taking over the care of them. But it isn't necessarily fair to them. I mean, they're healthy for the most part. I'm sure there are issues with maybe their food, their diet, their environment that, some people or, experts wouldn't necessarily agree with. But for what they know and what they've been through, they seem to be fine in their situation. But is it fair to them? I wouldn't necessarily say yes.
I was reading Jane Goodall's books and found out that primates need to be with other primates, just like people do and chimps do, and I figured monkeys needed to be with other monkeys. So I put, one misguided foot in front of the other and went right back to the breeder and said, I need a friend for Samantha. He said, I just happen to have her sister here. So I said, oh, great. I'll take the sister, and can I help out around here? In lieu of some payment or to help out, I can come and help you out cleaning and learn more about monkeys. He said, sure. So I got Charlotte, named her Charlotte, and Samantha and Charlotte are both still here, and was helping the breeder out when he asked if I wanted to help him pull a monkey. And my girlfriend and I were both there, and she had a monkey also. We went to go help him do this. We didn't understand what that meant. And what he did was put a net over mama and baby and reach in with a gloved hand and pry the baby off the net. And the baby screaming and the mother screaming. It was just this horrible separation and thievery. It was like, oh my God, this is crazy, this isn't right, this is wrong. The breeder said, I'm going to be selling them all at an animal auction. I thought, oh my gosh, you're just going to sell them off to the highest bidder. Now, these are monkeys I've gotten to know now. I've been over there helping out and cleaning and feeding, and you can't do that. How much for everybody? I just gave them my charge card and bought everybody.
I'm sure there's a lot more research that I could have done to prevent a lot of my ignorance to the situation, but it seems to be working. I get 2 days out of a set of cans. One for today and then one for on the road. I usually do bologna. I like bologna. I do chicken nuggets too. Like I said, I don't know if it's necessarily correct, but that's what I've been doing.
Ben and Annie have been losing quite a bit of hair recently. Hair loss is a condition commonly found in monkeys in captivity. It's one of several neurotic conditions that affect them, along with weight loss and self-harming behaviors.
I thought it could be stress related, not enough toys, not enough stimulation or something, because of the change of the seasons and everything. And she said, no, it could be a lack of blood flow. It could be, just dying, And so, I mean, those are all issues that I don't know about. I don't necessarily, Ben! It wouldn't be fair to them to keep them any longer. Ben! What? They might be able to have a better life where they're going to go, and I'm looking forward to that, you know.
like to plant a lot of edible plants, so the banana plants and bamboo and all kinds of things, and things that they like to anoint with, like mint, they love to rub all over themselves. And they eat a lot of the ground cover, but anytime there are weeds, we pull them out. And they like the flowers, they eat the little flowers and stuff, so. And they get to dig for worms and catch bugs and all that stuff. For a vegan organization, so we don't feed them any animals, but what they catch, they catch.
People ask me, why did you choose monkeys? I say, well, I didn't really choose monkeys. They chose me. This wasn't in my plan. I didn't sit down one day and say, what do I want to do? I want to be really, really poor and work really, really hard. Oh, I know. I'll start a primate sanctuary. So you do what's in front of you. When you see something like that I saw, that changed my life. I mean, you don't unsee something like that. And you feel like you have to right these wrongs and try and let people know. Because I honestly believe that if people knew that these babies were stolen from their mothers as early as 3 days old, not even the benefit of mother's milk, they weren't raised by their own species, they didn't have peer play with other monkeys, I think would stop most people from buying pet monkeys.
The allure of holding baby monkeys often wears off as they reach maturity, at which point they can be very difficult to handle. After 27 years, Matt knows this very well.
This is the little bean. What's up, buddy? What are these people with the lights, huh? Yeah, I think he's a little afraid. Come on, gotta go in. What? Come on, go in. Go on, come on. Hey. Come on. Let's see if we can do the same thing with Annie, but just for safety reasons with the door. Come here, you. Oh, my little baby. But yeah, she could be aggressive. She has her teeth, so you can see her canines. Ben's were a lot bigger. That's why we got his removed. But yeah, she's a little sweetie. You okay? Okay, wanna go back in there? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Now, come on. Hey, stop. Come on. See, I knew I should have got gloves. See, the majority of the time when they bite, it's the human reaction to pull away, and you end up tearing your shit apart. Even with the squirrel monkeys, they have real small razor teeth. When they bite you and you pull away, you end up tearing the piss out of your hands. So.
Here at Jungle Friends, we have always had a waiting list. I don't think we've ever not had a list of monkeys waiting to come to Jungle Friends, whether they were privately owned in entertainment or in laboratories. And we still have quite a waiting list. So on our waiting list were 2 monkeys named Annie and Ben. And we weren't sure how we were going to be able to get them here. And the guardians of Annie and Ben actually contacted Primate Rescue Center first. And April Truitt, who is one of my mentors, who also she founded Primate Rescue Center and is amazing. And she helped him out, heard the story, wanted the monkeys to come to Jungle Friends. So she offered to pay for the habitat. So they were in. The monkeys who are confiscated or come here without anyone, it's a lot more difficult for them to settle in because they don't know what happened to them. They don't know where their family is. If they knew for the last 20 years, they were raised in a house and, you know, treated a certain way, and then all of a sudden they're somewhere else and they don't understand. For a lot of the monkeys, they were part of the family and then kind of gradually got moved away from the family as they got more aggressive, moved to the garage, moved to the basement, and not really a part of the family anymore. So they get here and it's like, wow, now we have this huge, larger life. But when they're in a family situation where they had a loving relationship and a relationship with the family, you know, it's better if the family comes with them.
Everybody, let's go start a new life.
It's the best thing for him and them. To be out in the wild, where they belong, not this plains.
You got the fan on.
Want to warm it up?
Well, it's cracking.
Long grind.
Matt and his brother Jay start their 17-hour drive down to Florida. 2 hours in, they stop at a baboon sanctuary in Indiana. Carrie has arranged for them to pick up some supplies.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, I'm Scott.
I'm Jay. I'm Matt's brother.
Nice to meet you. Hey, Scott, how are you?
Hello, how are you, Matt?
Yes, I'm good. How are you?
Good, nice to meet you.
Yes.
So, would you like some stuff for your monkeys? Do you need anything, or you got food for them, or you want some treats for them? I can have one of our care staff put something together.
Yeah, sure. That'd be great. I have a little bit of food, but just basically.
Do they like certain things, strawberries or fruit over vegetables, or?
More fruit over vegetables. Anybody likes sweet fruit.
You want to give them something?
Scott from Peaceable Primates Sanctuary gives Matt and Jay a brief tour. Peaceable Primates was created to give homes specifically to baboons. All were either used in medical research, the entertainment industry, or living in private homes. Carry supplies include some cargo nets that are used in the habitat for enrichment and some much-needed work gloves for the staff.
Well, safe journey.
Yeah.
Safe journey.
Put your seatbelt on.
Okay, Dad. Back in Florida, Carrie and her staff are adding the last-minute touches to Ben and Annie's new retirement home.
So this is where we're going to release them in this indoor area. They had neighbors. We locked the neighbors out. You can see Anna Claire is wondering why she's locked out of her area. But they're out there and they've got a big habitat out there and they don't really need this. We use this for when it's really cold, they go inside. But when monkeys come from like Chicago where it's really cold and have never been used to being outside where it's too cold or too hot, we start them out in here. So we're going to release Annie and Ben right inside here. We've got places where they can eat in here too. We've got water in here. And then we have to show them how to navigate the runway to get out of here and get all the way to their habitat. So that's the tricky part.
So we just talked to Carrie, and she called and asked if we were going through Georgia, and we were planning on it, but that's not legal. And she reminded us that they may confiscate the monkeys, so we decided we should go through Alabama. So that's what we're doing, rerouting the plan to go through Alabama.
Having extended the route, Matt and Jay decide to stay the night in Alabama and arrive early the next morning.
Hello, I'm Carrie.
I'm
You're
Jay.
Jay, nice to meet you, Jay.
There's Matt.
Matt.
Hi, Carrie. Finally, nice to
Hi,
meet you.
nice
Thank
to
you.
meet you. I'm glad you made it safe and sound.
Yes.
So let me show you what we're going to do first, so you
Okay.
can tell me if we need anything different. We're just going to have you come in here so that they can be inside, and then you're going to bait them out the runway that goes like this and around over to that habitat. So will they follow you? Do you need a special treat to come out?
I have some treats still.
Okay.
So yeah, I have.
If we release them out there, I'm afraid they won't figure out how to get in.
Right.
It's going to be 55 tonight.
Okay.
So it's going to be cooler.
All right.
We have a heat lamp in here. We also have a heat lamp out there, and we put treats where the heat lamp is. So,
okay.
So I'm thinking better to release them in here,
Yeah, so
and then
they-
try to show them how to get to the outdoors.
Okay.
Yes?
Yeah. The sanctuary and all the staff carrying everybody were there. They were able to help me get them acclimated to their new indoor environment. Yeah.
Hi, you guys.
This is
Yeah,
Annie.
Hi, Annie. How do they feel about dogs?
I have dogs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, they're. I kept them apart from them, so. But no, they're okay with dogs.
Okay. Hi, Annie.
That's Annie.
Yes, Potter's a nice dog. Potter is the protector of the monkeys. When new monkeys come, he thinks that he has to protect them against everyone, and sometimes maybe even you.
And then this is Ben.
Ben, okay. Do you want me to take one, or?
Sure.
After 27 years, Ben and Annie will be released into a habitat as close to the wild as they have ever been.
How do you feel, Matt?
Overwhelmed, actually. I mean, it's all new. I've never, seen this type of environment. Very excited for him. I mean, I did have, not too much worry because I was driving, but as we got closer, a little anticipation of what was going to come about. But now this is beautiful. And thank you very much. Yeah, if you want to hold that, and we will. All right, come on out.
Hi.
Come on out.
Hi, you.
They actually took to it very well. I was surprised they didn't try to go back into their cages or anything like that. They were exploring it, and they had it set up really nice. What'd you think? Look at all this.
Who wants
You
a
know
grape?
this, Ben.
How about a grape? Here you go.
Yeah.
Who wants a grape? Oh, of course you do.
She loves grapes.
Annie just kept eating from the moment she found out where the food was. She has been eating. Matt thinks that she's gained weight already. so I guess the food is acceptable.
And then this is Gatorade if you need some electrolytes. Well, you want to see if you can get them to go through the runway?
Annie. Annie.
Do you want a little step stool so she can see you? We've got one right here.
Okay.
Matt tries to entice Ben and Annie to check out their new open-air habitat, but naturally they are a bit cautious.
Come on, guys. Come here, Nanny. Bean. Wish I could have thought of something like this. To have the land would be great. I mean, this is how it should be. Much better of a life enhancement environment than what I provided. I like the interaction that they'll have. I mean, their outdoor area is huge. Just a little at loss of words and astonishment, but very good. Very pleased. So.
Matt and Jay unload the van and call it a night. Maybe they'll have better luck tomorrow. Early the next morning, Matt tries once again to get Ben and Annie to enter the outdoor habitat.
Come on, Ian.
Matt was calling and calling at the opening to try to get them to come out. They didn't know really. They came out. The runways are made out of horse panels, so it's wire. And I don't think they were used to walking on that. So we put blankets all the way along the runway and tied them to the runway.
Ben braves the new discovery. while Annie watches from a safe location.
Come on, Ben. Big cage. Ben was the first one to go into the outside enclosure, and Annie was a little more apprehensive. She's content in here, because this is what she knows. Yeah. Enclosed area. And then there's all the food. All right, I ain't leaving this place. There's food in here. Ben's the adventurous one.
Annie eventually gains some courage and reunites with Ben, but not before she gets her close-up. Annie makes sure we get her good side.
Yes, it's a good girl. You're a good girl, aren't you? Welcome to Jungle Friends. Yes, welcome to Jungle Friends.
I've talked to my brother, my mother, and always had the assumption that if they don't know it, they're never going to miss it. But it's not that. This is much better for him. The wild would have been much better, but
This was a long time coming.
yeah.
And when he got the monkey, I thought it was a bad idea. But he wanted it, and he took care of him, and he actually, I mean, if you think about it, how many years were they with you? 27 years?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's 27.
That's longer than most parents raise their children. If you think about that. This is something that you don't normally see, you know?
The capuchin seem to be the species most people are attracted to, and I think that is because they are seen a lot on television, and they have these horrible monkey rodeos now that they're doing, where they're chaining monkeys down to the backs of dogs and having them herd sheep and run a race, and it's a horrific practice. So people see that, and they see them on the movies or in television or on ads, and then they want a monkey. And then they go online and you put in pet monkey, and they're all these cute little babies with bottles, and they want a baby to take care of.
It's especially important for monkeys to have enrichment, so Matt and Jay volunteer some time to help rehabilitate a habitat. When completed, Jungle Friends will bring current residents in and give them a new area to explore. Carrie will introduce a lucky monkey to its new space later today.
Tonight's our last night. We have some paperwork with Carrie, and then we did drive down here, so we'll probably take a nice, easy ride home, unless he wants to get home to see his wife a lot quicker. So, I know I'm going to try to bring some of what I've seen and felt here today to other people. There are some people that I work with that knew that I have monkeys, but very few of them knew that I was doing this today or this week. And then on my part, I get to go home and not have them there, and then have to deal with their room, disassemble it, and then I have some stuff that I didn't necessarily bring down. So, pack all that up and find other things and, donate that also. So
It'll be fun. I'll help you.
yeah. So
Look where they are now.
Oh.
When you go in that room, you look at it and say, wow, I'm glad
Oh,
I'm
no.
glad they're there.
Oh, yeah, no.
It'll be hard.
Yeah. And I mean, that's only my own selfishness per se, or for the most part. You know, because he is right. I mean, they are in a better place, and I know that they're in a better place. But I'm gonna miss them. Yeah. Definitely gonna miss them.
On Matt's final day, he sits down with Carrie to fill out some paperwork and make Ben and Annie's retirement official.
Matt Anderson, initial contact, November 30th, 2016. So you got in relatively quickly.
Oh yeah, no.
Most people are waiting for years to.
Yeah, this whole process did go very fast. You know, thanks to you and April. And when you told me how much the matching funds, and I was, you know, I guess blessed that I didn't have to have any of those funds, because it would have taken me a long time to come up with that kind of money for them. So I do thank you for that.
Yeah, I'll just send in whatever you've got.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh no,
Let's
no.
come out and keep fixing our golf carts
Yeah.
and building our habitats for
Yeah.
us.
In case Ben and Annie feel a little homesick, Matt leaves behind a plaque he had inscribed with their names.
How you doing, sweetie?
Now it's time for Matt to say goodbye.
What's up, buddy? To everybody at Jungle Friends, this is Matt and Jay, Ben and Annie's humans. We would like to say thank you for your dedication and your hospitality, and giving us all the chores to do. They were fun and enjoyable, and hopefully we will see you soon and have a good monkey day. So thank you very much.
Good monkey day.
Yeah, why not?
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Jay, for everything you helped with, and we're going to take excellent care of you babies. We love them already. Come back soon.
I looked back at it, had pictures of them back when they first arrived. We weren't sure what was going on, if they were picking their hair out, plucking their own hair, or if they just needed sunshine and fresh air or, you know, a better diet. Not sure. Now a year later, you can't hardly recognize them. They're so fluffy and full, and their hair grew back. And this happens a lot at Jungle Friends. Monkeys coming from pet situations, laboratory research, they come and they don't have fur like they're supposed to have. And most of them come from living always inside. They've just blossomed. They're doing monkey things, they're foraging, they're, you know, checking out their new habitats. They're kept pretty active, and that might be a lot of it too. And Matt is always checking on the monkeys, which is not typical, because for a lot of, I hate to even call them pet monkeys, but privately owned primates, it's usually out of sight, out of mind. So it's nice and refreshing to have someone who really does care about these monkeys.
Knowing what's best for the animal versus what's best for us is a line that has been undeniably crossed. We not only exploit the ancestral genetics we have in common to perform experimental research, but we also succumb to more primal impulses of desire and gain. We desire the attention we receive from our pets, and in some cases, the attention we receive from others. And because we do so, the drive to gain as a captor or breeder exists to profit from the life of a living being. Either way, there are unintended consequences rooted in the decisions we make, even if they are not immediately apparent. Decisions like these can and must be taken with a deliberate consideration. For these two capuchins, the decision to give them a better home was 27 years in the making.